Carlos here, bringing you my Hyundai A-League fixture preview for week 6. And it is a big weekend for the A-League. We have a lot of injuries and we do have a lot of players out on international duty, so a lot of squad changes. There could be a lot of mixed results this weekend, so let's talk about what is going to happen. So the first game of the weekend sees Wellington Phoenix take on Adelaide United on Friday night. Wellington have 4 players promoted to the senior squad. They also see 4 players out on international duty. The 4 players on international duty are McGlinchey, Rufer, Doyle and Louis Fenton. Vince Leah, one of the keys to Wellington Phoenix, is unavailable for approximately 4 weeks due to a hamstring injury. Vince Leah without Wellington Phoenix without Vince Leah is a huge loss. There are no outs from the Adelaide United squad, but there are 2 additions to the squad, and they are Warland and Elsey, who have been promoted to the first team. I don't know much about these guys, so I wonder if they're going to get any game time this weekend. Obviously, it's a big weekend for both teams, and it sees Phoenix without some key players, and Adelaide United are still winless on the bottom of the table. Don't get me wrong, Wellington have got a great offence. You know, they've got Krishna, and he's really a huge key to their forward line. But without Louis Fenton, without McGlinchey, I can see them struggling. And Adelaide United still winless. You know, I don't think they're going to win again. I don't think they're going to win this weekend. Let's be serious. They're struggling. I think they're going to struggle again this weekend. And unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be a good game for viewers, because I do think this result is going to end up in a 0-0 draw. The second game of the weekend is also played on a Friday night. You don't see this happen very often, but it is. And the second game is Melbourne City Football Club taking on Western Sydney Wanderers. Melbourne City are without key player and playmaker Aaron Moy. That is a huge loss for Melbourne City. He is the reason they are doing so well at the moment. He is the reason they got so far in the FFA Cup. And he's out because he's on international duty where he deserves to be. But they do welcome Gamiero, one of their forwards, back from his injury. They also welcome Trefiro, and Kuzmanoviski has been promoted to the first team. Never heard of him either, but Gamiero back, used to play for Sydney, now at Melbourne City. He could be good, but the problem is he doesn't stay fit for long enough. Western Sydney Wanderers see Alberto and MacDonald promoted to the first team squad, while there are no apparent outs to their squad. So Western Sydney Wanderers are in a good run of form at the moment. I do believe they've won 2 in a row, and I think they can continue that this week. You know, Melbourne City are a strong side, but without Aaron Moy, they are really going to struggle. And I can see this result ending in a 2-1 win for Western Sydney Wanderers. The third game of the weekend, which is the first game on Saturday, sees Newcastle Jets take on the Central Coast Mariners. Newcastle welcome Lundy and Pyrwhack to the first team squad. You know, they've been promoted from the youth team, while Kantarovsky is out of the game with a calf injury. It's expected to be 1 week, but with the way the injuries been on this season, I think it could be more than 1 week. You know, Galekovic is still out. I was reading before someone else is still out. Archie Thompson's still out. You know, people that should be back aren't back yet. Central Coast welcome the return of Fitzgerald after he served his suspension last game. They also welcome Sim, Neal and Adelson, who have been promoted to the first team. Ferreira is out with a hamstring for Central Coast, and Eddie Bosnar had his contract mutually terminated with the club earlier in the week. A shock move there. Second player from Central Coast to be in a bit of trouble with the club, but you know, it's football, it happens. Why it's happening to those guys, I'm not 100% sure. They're also without Ascroft and Trefiro due to injury, but Central Coast are still struggling this season, while Newcastle have already won as many games this year as they did last season. So Newcastle on a flyer compared to last season. I can see this being a low scoring affair. I can see Newcastle Jets winning this result 1-0. The fourth game of the weekend sees my team Melbourne Victory take on Sydney FC in the Big Blue Derby. 2 heavyweights of the A-League battle it out for supremacy in Australia. Sydney FC will be without Hull and Normuth due to international duty, but sees Stamboziv, Dimitrovic and Tratt promoted to the first team, all youngsters. Don't know anything about them, but Sydney FC do have a majority of their first team, which is obviously a benefit for them. Melbourne Victory without Geria, Payne, Galloway and Galafuccio due to international duty, and Carl Valeri is also suspended this game after picking up a red card in the FFA Cup final last weekend. But Melbourne Victory do welcome Manane, Macaronis, Dover and Negro to the first team. So yes, they have a lot of players out, but they do have a lot of players in. Sydney FC are in fine form and haven't lost so far this season, the only undefeated team so far. They also have one of the best defensive records in the A-League, if not the best. I think they've only conceded something like 2 goals in 5 games. They're doing really, really well. Melbourne Victory are without their key players. They do have the depth required to field a strong squad. I do think they can do that, but it is the Big Blue Derby. Both teams are going to try and win it, but I can't see either team winning this game. I do think Sydney FC are going to concede 2, but I do think Melbourne Victory are going to concede 2 as well, and it's going to end up in a 2-2 draw. The final game of the weekend sees Brisbane Roar take on Perth Glory on Sunday afternoon. Brisbane are without Brown, and they are also without key players Jamie McLaren and Matty Mackay due to international duty. They do welcome the return of Enrique, who is finally back from injury, Donachie and Di Augustino to the first team squad. Perth Glory are without key player Josh Risdon due to his first international call-up. He's been in the youth squad for a while. Josh Risdon at the age of 23 getting his first call-up. Shout out to him, he's doing very, very well this season and he deserves to be in the international squad. Perth Glory welcomes Sandor, Castro and Valentini to the first team squad. So a bit of strength there now for Perth Glory. Let's see if they can manage to get the win this weekend. Brisbane Roar are obviously without 2 key players and could struggle this weekend, but having Enrique back from injury is a boost to their squad. He was a key with Borussia. Enrique is a really, really good forward, and if he's on his day, he's incredible. I will admit that. Perth Glory want to win after a disappointing defeat in the FFA Cup final last weekend. And they're in a bit of rough patch at the moment, especially with the salary cap problems of last year. I do think Perth Glory are going to see out the win this game. I think they're going to win 2-1. But they are my predictions for this weekend's football. Let me know your predictions in the comments section below. Who do you think is going to struggle this weekend due to the international duty, and who do you think is going to benefit from these changes? My name has been Chivos. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more Hyundai A-League content, and I'll catch you guys on another video.